Be 100% so you can give 100%. That is your new founding principle of life from this day forth. The overview with this session that we're covering here today is to help you actually map out what A to B looks like for you. The hardest part with being a father, being a man in the modern world, all these different hats that we wear, is we get lost. We find ourselves drifting and just trying to make ends meet day to day with our energy, with our time, with our connection in our family, with our work or business. And all of a sudden, there goes another year. There goes another year. And the unfortunate part of this in the survival tactics of just trying to make it day to day, week to week, month to month, which becomes a chronic state of affairs over 5, 10 plus years, is we know pretty quickly what we don't want inside of our life as a man, as a husband, as a father. Which means, unfortunately, because we focus so much on what we don't want in our life, we actually don't really know or understand or get the time and the space for ourselves to find out what it is that we actually want. This is what I want to achieve inside of my life, Al. I don't even know what that looks like. I don't even know how to rejuvenate my love life and create a better connection inside of my marriage. I actually don't know how to respond to my children. I find myself grumpy and triggered all the time. And I feel like there's a lack in connection. I actually don't know how to say no to work and put up healthy boundaries and get my time and my life back on track by doing what it is that I want more often than not. The very first thing we're going to dial in when it comes to realigning your life is our core. This is our founding principle. This is the very first principle that was designed with our High Performance Father program, the circles of significance. 3 things make the man's life in this world. That's it. Like I said, we're not here to overcomplicate anything, but this is the reality. There are 3 things that make your life: family, self, and service. This is who you are as a family man, your inner circle, your little tribe, loved ones, blood-bound or not. This is who you are, how you turn up, who you turn up as, and what you do, what you lead, what you influence with your family in your life. The second one, in no particular order, this is just the way I've laid this out, is self. Because this should actually be first inside of implementing. Who are you? Who do you want to be? What do you do for yourself? Who do you want to be in this world? Like all these different hats that go in your head, they go in your head. Like I said, this is your life, but this is the one that most people neglect, which means this one then gets axed and then this one then implodes. And service is the value you add to the world and your community. Could be your place of business or work if you're an employee. How are you adding value outside of your inner circle to bring significance and fulfillment to your life and to create change in the world, no matter how big or small or what that looks like for you? These are the circles of significance. But the biggest thing here is most men neglect themselves, which means at best they're operating at 40%, which means when you think you're giving 100% to your family, you're giving 100 over 40. This is what I talk about when I'm saying stop being selfish and actually be better for your family. Sounds funny, doesn't it? It's quite ironic. What do you mean now? I'm giving everything to my family. Yes, you are. You're giving them 40%. You're letting them down. Isn't that ironic? Like we feel like we're giving so much for our family, but you're actually being even more selfish by not investing in yourself first. Please understand this and come from a place, mate, where you have an open mind with this, because what I said then, it's not an opinion. Like I very rarely work with opinions. I'm not a big fan of those. This is a fact. So hopefully this will trigger you in a good way. Hopefully this is a pattern interrupt in a good way for you to look at it and go, fuck, he's right. I'm half Italian. I get it, man. Like I saw this destroy the Italian side of my family. We give and give and give and give, but there are these hidden deals under the table. So there's an expectation or assumption of return. Someone's got your back. Someone's going to look after you. All of a sudden, shit hits the fan. You've got your hand out looking for something back and you get nothing. Or it's too late. You've already destroyed yourself and your family. Or even worse, you forgot to ask them what it is that they actually want. So you're giving them what you think they want, but they never asked for it in the first place. Breakdown, communication, implosion. Relationships starve to death. Breakdowns come from a set of needs not being met. So whether it's your wife, whether it's your children, whether it's your relationship with yourself, if needs are not being met from a lack of communication and a lack of the core foundation that drives life behind your eyes, which is you, everything else is going to get affected, man. The reason why there are 3 circles of significance is there are 3 different types of main types of significance that we have in our life. The significance and fulfillment that I get from playing with my children, engaging with them, connecting with them, that's something that you will never be able to give me. That is something that bench pressing or squatting or lifting weights in the gym can never give me. That is a specific type of significance. You know this. When you connect and life is amazing, life is great with your family, with your wife, with your loved ones, that gives you a type of significance that you cannot get anywhere else in the world. Just like when we want to go back over to the circle of service, serving and helping thousands of men like yourself all over Australia, providing a platform to see men create phenomenal change inside of their life, helping these men move through, reconnecting their love life, reconnect with their children, rise up and become a greater leader inside of themselves, actually value and respect themselves again, get in amazing shape and develop this resilience, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally, to challenge the world when the world challenges it in the circumstances, or when the world challenges him and the adversities keep coming and rolling through. When I see that, man, that lights me up like you wouldn't believe. That gives me a type of significance and fulfillment in serving fathers and their families all over the country that my children can never give me. Just like when I'm looking after my health, body and mind, and I'm training and lifting weights, and I'm physically fit and strong and powerful and tenacious in my mindset, my approach, my personal empowerment, that gives me a purpose, a point of significance that you can never give me, that my children can never give me. The irony of it all, man, is you can't just lean on one and think that that will pour into another. And I'm going to talk about this from a different angle when it comes to pouring into cups, which is why you need a certain level of investment inside of yourself. That's why you're here right now, just like there's a certain level of investment in service and in family. They all give you 3 different types of significance. You need all of them. Now, a lot of you might be sitting around here where you give to your family and you give to work, and you just keep bouncing between family and work, and you are slowly dying inside. Maybe some of you don't. Maybe you don't give to the world as much as you'd like to, and you just focus on your family and yourself. What that leads to is a lack of prosperity in today's world. When in an economic planet and providing different value and significance, you may feel empty because you're just sitting between these 2 areas here, and you haven't expanded out in your legacy and made your mark in the world, just like this. Some of you may look after yourself, your physical and mental health in the area of service, yet unfortunately, you've left your family down to fall into the pit by not leading them, connecting with them, and spending time with them. Remember, over the next 7 days, I'm going to show you how to get 1,000 hours a year back. Like, that's massive, man. That's 20 hours a week. So don't worry, the tactics will come, the strategies will come. This is first setting the stage and getting your mindset around the 3 areas that make the man's life, and truly understand that, you know what, you can have all 3. This is the sweet spot here, man. You absolutely can. When you rise up and become 100% again, everyone wins. Everyone wins. You have more that you can give to those that you love and care about. So when we look at this and we dial this in, like I said, we're going to get you 20 hours a week back. What we need to firstly recognize is there are 2 things. You think money is the valuable resource. Money comes and goes. 2 of the most valuable resources we'll ever have in this world, which is finite, is time and energy. You can see that's represented here by these jugs. Time, energy. When you bind that together, that's life. That's your experiences. You're moving through this. I don't know how much time I have left. Neither do you. You think you've got 82 years because that's the average. I've got mates who are dead. I've got people who've died between the ages of 15 and 50 who've been very close to me. So who knows when your second half starts? On the law of averages, your second half has started. Watching this as a father entering or into his 40s. But essentially, you don't know how much time you have left. And even if you are 40 and you live to be 82, that means you've got a couple of 100,000 hours left awake, and that's it. You're gone anyway. So please understand, mate, there's fuck all time left. What are you doing with that? How are you wasting that on sedation, distraction? This is going to be covered in the days to come and the days to flow. But please understand, when we're looking at the cups and pouring into your cups, imagine that the cup of self is one that is actually housing 2 holes at the bottom. So you might pour time and energy into yourself, but essentially when this fills up, this starts to pour into family and into service naturally. This is my point. This is what I'm talking about. But this is also why it's critically important for you to recognize that you must continually pour into yourself. Because if you don't, and if you just start trickling down into here or into here, this ends up dry. There's nothing in here, maybe some cobwebs. This is gone, which means you chronically keep pouring into these cups. But don't forget, like I said, ironically, the person who's pouring and lacking pouring into themselves is you, which means when you go south very quickly from pouring at a chronic state into family and service, everyone loses. Everything will burn to the ground. I can't stress this enough, man. Like, everything will burn to the ground. These will be empty. Yours is empty, and everyone loses.